I'm back in Photoshop, and I can see now that if I use the Move tool, which is this tool right here, and I play around with my layers, I can see that there's actually multiple images here. They're just hiding behind each other. So part of this is just reordering things and moving things around to make things look better. Part of it is you using your own artistic judgment. Also, you're going to need to rotate and do things like that as well. So to do that, like for example, I think this image would look better if it was in front of the other image. So I'm going to change my layer order. And yeah, I like that on top. Like, see if I took this layer and I put it down below, I just feel like it looks not as good. So I'm going to move it up. And also, I think I should rotate this. I don't have to necessarily. I kind of like that it's like that, but I sort of like the idea of rotating it. So again, I'm working on this specific image. I'm going to edit, transform, rotate, and now I have the ability to move this back and forth as I see fit. So for example, I kind of like that, yeah. And then of course I can go ahead and apply that. So you can definitely play around with these. Now something else you can do is, let's say that you're playing with this and like you like this, but you wish that, I don't know, maybe for example this top image right here didn't have all that negative space over there. Obviously if I was working with a pen and paper or just actual photos, I could cut that. Well, here's what I can do here. Once I do this, I can't undo it, but check this out. If I took this image, make sure I'm working on this one up here again, and grab the selection tool, and then say edit cut, it's gone. See that? So I can play around and do things like that as well to make it line up. So part of the challenge here is to take your time and to kind of make the image work. Let me see, I think I have a final image here that I created earlier today that I can show you. Here we are. Yeah, so this was one that I made earlier today, the same exact thing, just to show you where I went with it. When I was done with the image, here, I'll show you how to make a black background again. You make a new layer, put that layer down below everything else, grab the selection tool, and I'm deliberately selecting beyond the artboard, and then I just grab the paint bucket tool, which is sometimes hidden under the gradient tool. Make sure this is set to black, which it is, and then that's easy. So that's kind of part of the fun of this image. Obviously, when you save it, you're going to save it two different ways. You're going to save it as a PSD and call it something very specific. Don't call it Untitled One, preferably with your name on it in the Photoshop category. And then the other way you're going to save it is as a JPEG. So File, Save As, and the JPEG is what you turn into me. So the JPEG is going to be this. Yeah. And again, save. Something I think you already know, but I'm just going to mention it. You want to leave a little bit of a border. In other words, just to show you, this is what not to do. Don't have images coming off the side like that. That just looks sloppy. You want the whole thing to be self-contained. So take some time and do that. And obviously, you shouldn't be having many different images of the same thing. It should be, I'm sorry, it should have many images of the same thing, but it should be parts of them, not the whole image. So again, how you choose to put that together is going to be up to you. And again, if you choose to do some selective cropping, like this might be interesting. If I take this and then, I don't know, to me that just looks so much more interesting now to have that kind of segmented in there. So just things like that. Think about how you're going to place this together. All right, have fun.